Hey everyone, Dr. Jamie. We are talking about emotional aromatherapy today. This is a interesting topic, been around for a long time. We'll be going into essential oil blends and then the specific oils that are within the blends. Using them for emotional benefit has been around for thousands of years. Greece, Rome, China, India, they have used essential oils for rituals and religious practices and for healing, physical, emotional healing. Although essential oils have been used in recent history, they really began to be taken seriously in the 20th century because research began to be done. Chemists started understanding how these plants work and how these plants affect us and our emotions and our physiology. There is science behind emotional aromatherapy. We are chemical beings, and because of this, we have chemical responses. And these plants that create essential oils are also chemical and create responses. We have triggers in the brain and body that react to essential oils, and we get a personalized experience. Everyone is a little bit different, just like we react differently to foods and movies and everything we react differently to. Why use essential oils to manage mood? One of the biggest reasons is that they work, but also they are natural and safe. We can't say that for a lot of therapies, but oils are safe. They also generate quick responses. You can be out on your day and use an essential oil and get an immediate reaction. Because of this, they're very simple to use. For those of you who don't know how to use essential oils, we use them aromatically, where we can inhale them, topically, where we put them on our bodies, or we ingest them. Today, we're not really talking about ingesting. We're talking primarily about aromatic use, and an example of that would be diffusing. A lot of people have diffusers in their homes and their workplaces today. But also you can put an essential oil on pulse points. And then when you do this, you can inhale the oil, or you can just do what this gal's doing and inhale an oil directly from the bottle. When you put the oils on topically, you want to put them at pulse points where they absorb easily. This is where our vessels are closer to the surface. But you can also put them, for example, peppermint's great on the back of the neck to help cool or relieve a headache. We can use oils on the feet, for example, lavender at nighttime when you're going to sleep and you want to help with sleep. And the bottoms of the feet are great to put oils on for children because that's a safe place for them. We don't want them putting them into their mouths. For example, if it's an oil that can't be ingested, and not all oils are safe to ingest, number one, but number two, if you don't have a quality oil that says, like doTERRA, it is safe to ingest, you really don't want to. This is the emotional aromatherapy wheel that doTERRA put together, and I love this because it gives you not just all the individual plants that go into these wonderful blends, but it gives you the emotions, and it also gives you a cycle to work with. First, let's look at the top. This is Motivate at the very top. It is an encouraging blend, and it is primarily made up of mints and citrus. And this is how all these oils will work on the wheel. If we go clockwise, we see cheer, and cheer is made up of citrus and spice. Passion, our inspiring blend, is spices, herbs, and grasses. And then we have forgive, which is a renewing blend, and I prefer calling it a healing blend because that's what it's about. Has trees, herbs, and grasses. And then we get into our comforting blend, which is florals and trees, and then up to peace on the left side, which is florals and mints. How this works is get a general picture of this, a general idea of what plants or which oils create what types of moods. If you learn it that way, for example, mints create energy and citrus are very uplifting. They put us into this wonderful mood. If you learn this about the different oils themselves, then you'll be able, when you run into a particular oil, to figure out what you might want to use it for. But you don't even need to do this because doTERRA put these into phenomenal little blends. And we're going to go through all 6 of these. And we're going to work it clockwise because I like that this also depicts cycles. Think about life. We have a cycle in life. When we're very young, we are very motivated and we're very cheerful, right? Kids are happy. You don't have to do much to make kids happy. They're naturally, they play, they laugh, they have a great time, their energy is up. As we move into our late teens, 20s, and a little of the 30s, we are in our passionate phase. Lots of passion for life and our ideals and our beliefs, wanting to change the world. As we get into kind of our 40s and 50s, we move more into a healing stage of life and we start going back and healing from our younger days. And sometimes, really just healing for our childhood itself. Then we learn how to comfort ourselves later on. We are better at saying no to things. We are better at taking care of ourselves. And then as we move into older age, we have wisdom and we're more at peace. When I look at this wheel, I see that entire cycle, but I also see the cycle in a day. Sometimes you need motivate in the morning and comfort in the afternoon. These oils can be used at any time, and even sometimes you can cycle through them. And even in life, you go through cycles. When I went to school, I was very excited and motivated. I was happy about it. I was very passionate, moved into being very passionate for the first few years. And then about 3/4 of the way through, you get tired. And I started to feel like I kind of needed to renew those original feelings because I felt kind of run down and was looking at the road ahead like I have to open a practice and I've got to finish school first and all this to do. And is this even going to be worth it? And, that's kind of a negative state. And that's what forgive is really about, or what I like to call heal. And I comforted myself, revitalized my energy, and then moved into a real state of peace about what my life would be. And you can use these blends in all these different ways. Let's look at the first blend. We have what's called Motivate. doTERRA created in a very encouraging blend, and it has in a starring role at the top, peppermint and clementine. Now, peppermint is a very strong mint, lots of energy here. And we need energy for motivation. And we also need to feel good, which is our clementine, which is a citrus. Clementine is a blend. It was a hybrid plant that a gentleman who was a monk in Brazil, but I believe he was French, created this hybrid, and that was our clementines. And citruses are very uplifting, create a great mood. But then we also have coriander. Coriander is amazing for giving us the courage to be ourselves. As all of the spices are good at creating strength, but coriander is about courage. And you need the courage to be yourself when you're motivated in anything. And then we have basil. Basil is great for the adrenal glands. There are stress glands. And what basil does is kind of fortify us underneath and really make us strong. This way we can continue and have the energy that we need. But it isn't an energy that's falsely created. It's a true energy because our body is fortified. And you'll see that even though all of these blends have a couple of oils that are playing a starring role or headlining, it has other oils. Although peppermint and clementine are the main headliners here, the coriander, the basil, and then we have Melissa. Now Melissa, because everything else in here is very strong and lifting up, Melissa is very calming. Melissa is said to open the soul. It's a very calming oil. In fact, it's really good at sleep. And it helps us release the things that hold us back. So we get feelings of confidence and believe in ourselves. And that way we can keep the motivation going. And cheer is an inspiring blend. You want to be cheerful, man? You need citrus. And here we have the wild child of citrus, which is wild orange. When I see wild orange, I think of children out in the street or the woods or wherever playing, and they have wild abandon and they're just happy and carefree. That's what wild orange is about. And because of this energy, they also added vanilla to this blend, which is very creative because we want to add this creativity to all this energy. Otherwise, energy can run amok, right? Just like kids, we always try to give them activities to channel their energy. The same in this blend. We want creativity, and that's what the vanilla gives us. We also have clove and cinnamon and ginger, which are strong. Ginger is like the warrior of essential oils. If you want strength, go to ginger. And clove helps us deal with conquering that victim mentality, that feeling of I'm not in control of how I feel. Cinnamon's interesting. It's about sexual energy. But all together, these oils work beautifully with the wild orange and the vanilla balancing each other out. And again, having strength put in there. These are citrus and spice created. And then we're going to move into passion. Passion has lots of spice to it, but it's also going to move into the herbs and the grasses. And because there's so much spice, we put a little bit of fractionated coconut oil. And that is great for cutting the oils when they're very strong. If you want to put them onto the skin, it's good with some of these spices to actually cut them a little bit with the coconut oil. And in fact, all of the topical blends that doTERRA makes have coconut oil in them. And it isn't just to decrease the strength of the oil, it's actually got a much more important purpose, and that is because it's a fat, it helps us absorb it and use the oil more efficiently. That's what the coconut oil does, which means that you can use less essential oil because you have the coconut oil in there. It will actually help the body absorb it. And you can use more coconut oil when you're working with children. You want to be real specific, and older folks who have more sensitive skin. But for the most part, you can put many oils right on the skin, unless you're more sensitive to your skin. And then you want to be careful. But also we have here these great spices. We have cardamom. Cardamom is great for what's called mental sobriety. Mental sobriety is just about kind of taming that passion. You know, when there's crimes of passion, right? That's like people going kind of crazy and running amok. But mental sobriety helps you funnel that passion into something very useful. We have the cinnamon there, of course, for the sexual energy, because this is passion, although it is not just the passion of love, and it's all kinds of different types of love, but it's also passion for life in general. And then we see clove again with that, helping us with that victim mentality. And then we have jasmine and sandalwood, which are both very grounding. Sandalwood is used in religious practices and has been for thousands of years. It is used in prayer, it's used in meditation. And then we have that vanilla again with its creativity. And vanilla also helps us balance the energy of the body, also called our vital essence, or our chi. Vanilla is wonderful with that. Jasmine is an herb too that's been used it's a plant that has been used in healing things like liver ailments, and also cinnamon's been used for blood sugar. All of the oils I'm talking about today have many other functions, but we're talking about the emotional ones today only. Then we have what doTERRA has called Forgive, the Renewing Blend, which I like to call healing. Starring in this, you have the herbs and the grasses, but you also are getting into the trees. And surprisingly, you see at the top here, bergamot. Bergamot is a citrus. It's a beautiful, soft, gentle citrus, but it's really good with bringing people back who are suffering, people who are in bouts of depression or even in despair. And that's why bergamot is put in here, because this is a healing blend. Then we also have juniper berry, which helps us work with our fears. Juniper berry is said to bring up the fears that we have buried deep beneath and help us to not only uncover them, but to release them. Myrrh is about working with our mother relationship. That's something that we definitely, most of us have some healing to do. And then the beautiful arbor vitae is about surrender. Surrendering in a very positive way, and surrendering and accepting what is rather than fighting against things. And then thyme. Thyme is an absolutely beautiful oil. It helps us bring up toxic feelings, toxic emotions, and to release those. Working with this blend helps us to forgive and let go. Then we move into what doTERRA calls console. It is our comforting blend. And of course, if we want to comfort anyone, what do we give them? We give them flowers. Console is made up of the flowers and the trees. And you'll see some of the common essential oils in here. Frankincense, number one, the king of all oils, which is great with anxiety, calming the mood. And down at the bottom, you see rose. Rose is one of the highest vibrating essential oils. And of course, things that vibrate at a higher frequency are more spiritual. Things that are more solid are more of the earth. You know, the things in terms of our mood even, you know, when we're in a more uplifted mood, we vibrate at a higher frequency and we feel light and childlike. But when we're sad or unhappy, depressed, we feel very solid and heavy. We're vibrating at a lower frequency. And with rose, it vibrates at such a high frequency that doTERRA added a bit of patchouli, which, although it is also an oil that vibrates at a higher frequency, it's nowhere near rose, but patchouli is good at helping us keep in our bodies. This is one of those beautiful marriages in these blends that you see where rose is just kind of bringing us up and patchouli holds us into our body. where we can experience and be with ourselves, comforting ourselves. It isn't about escape, it's about being with. And then there's ylang ylang, which is a gorgeous scent, but it's also kind of childlike and playful. And then we have the beautiful spiritual aspect of sandalwood again. This is a lovely blend and it smells absolutely gorgeous. And then we move to our final blend, which is peace. And you'll see nothing but calming, relaxing blends here. We have that playfulness of ylang ylang, but also it's calming. We have lavender, which calms. And vetiver, oh my gosh, vetiver is great for that kind of ADHD, that jumping mind. I call it the caffeinated mind, where you're just firing all over the place and you need to settle down. Vetiver is great with that. And all of these are good for sleep. Marjoram, clary sage, all very relaxing and help us sleep. And then at the bottom is a little bit of a mint. Another great marriage. We have this incredible, peaceful, calming blend. And they just put a very gentle mint in there. So there's a little bit of energy. Not enough to keep us awake if we want to go to sleep, but just the right amount. Now we look back, having gone through all of these amazing oil blends that doTERRA put together. And as you see, you can start to learn what these different plants are good for. So if you run into a floral, you'll know this is going to be comforting and it's going to be at a higher vibration. And if you run into citrus, you'll know that it's going to lift your mood. But you can also just buy the blends. doTERRA has put a great system together, the emotional aromatherapy, and all of these blends can be found together. They also have been put into a touch group. All of the oils, these are ones that have a little bit of fractionated coconut oil and the essential oil. What's nice about these is you have the oil, it's very gentle on the skin. You can carry these around with you, put them in your purse or your pocket. They're very handy. And they absorb beautifully. I love to put those right at my wrist. That's my favorite pulse points because I get to absorb it and I can inhale the oil. And of course you can buy these, all of these oils at retail, or you can buy them at wholesale, 25% off. And we carry these. We're happy to give you those. But I recommend to everyone that they go wholesale because you get that 25% discount. It's the only way to go. And you also open yourself up to getting oils in the loyalty rewards program, which is eventually, if you enter the loyalty rewards, you get 30% back on purchases, which is pretty good. And then you get to use those points to buy oils. I love that because I save them up for a while and then I get a few oils. We're obviously not going to take questions. This was actually a slide when we did this presentation inside the office. And we don't have a raffle for you guys today, unfortunately. But I will say thank you very much, you guys, for attending. If you have any questions, you guys know where to contact me at the office, and I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. Have a great day.